Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television talk show, Where Truth Matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 1 p.m. Central Time as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. You may find us on Abundance Television, syndicated. That's through Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com. And yeah, we own the radio now, Classic Country 92.9. That's WZLA. We appreciate you listening to us that way as well. Speaking of which, AP Steadham is with us right now. You're ruffling some feathers, kind of, sort of, in South Carolina. They want to hear more about Clemson in South Carolina. I heard your show on Saturday, last Saturday. And people were really responding to it. So it's a good thing. Absolutely. So I'm glad to know that you're getting South Carolina listening to you on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that, Donna. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah, the folks in South Carolina, they love their teams. They love their teams.
Yeah. And they're a little bit unlike us, Alabama and Auburn. We get kind of ticked off with their teams when they're on a losing streak. Yes. They do or die. They are going to pick their team no matter what.
Yes, and I think a few of them died on Saturday, Donna, with that South Carolina game when they were ahead by 30-3 at halftime. And A&M came all the way back, Donna, to score 28 unanswered points and win by one single point. So South Carolina, I thought for sure, Donna, as I was watching some parts of the game and listening and things, I said, okay, South Carolina, a beautiful upset for them to beat the team that's ranked third in the country, let's say in some polls, the college football playoff rankings, and at least they'll have that happy memory for this season. Come to find out, Marcel Reed, the quarterback for Texas A&M, who was the one who really was the reason A&M was in the deficit. He threw some interceptions and things. He turned it around, had the 4 touchdown passes, and next thing you know, South Carolina can't do anything offensively from 30-0 in one afternoon. Donna, it's incredible. Couldn't even get the field goal, right? 3 points. If they scored 3 points for the half, they would have won.
Yeah,
they would have won. Had 0 the whole second half. So that was quite disappointing, and they'll remember that one for a very, very long time. Donna, that they were ahead of Texas A&M on the road. And I think the number, Donna, is if you're ahead by 27 points in the SEC, I think I saw this stat, something like the teams are 86 or 268-0. They've never lost. Mm-hmm. And now they have this one memory. South Carolina lost. They were ahead by 27 points and ended up losing the football game. So, yeah, those people from South Carolina, they're suffering this season. They're just going to they're going to be playing Clemson here shortly in the rivalry week games. So both teams, South Carolina and Clemson, they can't have this season end fast enough.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, how's Clemson? How's it looking for that?
Yeah, they came up with a victory by a point. So good for them. So it was the total reverse as far as the excitement and the happy ending with the victory. Whereas South Carolina lost, Clemson won. And we know that Clemson has struggled all season. So this is going to be quite a ball game in a couple of weeks as South Carolina hosts Clemson. So South Carolina, they're trying to get to a bowl. So, Clemson's trying to get to a bowl, and South Carolina, they're trying to spoil Clemson from probably getting to a bowl.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's pretty interesting because they're kind of like we are with Alabama and Auburn. That's a huge game right there. And I'm going to tell you, people are getting fighting mad about that South Carolina Clemson game. They do.
Yeah. And I still think they'll have a maximum capacity crowd to watch that game in Columbia because they like to beat Clemson, even though South Carolina is having a bad season. But if they can spoil Clemson's season right at the end, that'll be a way that they can forget this whole season, but they say, hey, we spoiled Clemson's season and beat them in Columbia.
You want to make a prediction?
Oh, yeah, not yet. We'll talk about them next week when they play that ball game, Donna. When they, when they get that rivalry, we could have all those games: Auburn, Alabama, and Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and Georgia Tech, and Vanderbilt, Tennessee. There are so many huge rivalry games next week, Donna, that have ramifications for teams.
Yeah.
Maybe puts them in a bowl, the playoff contention teams, or just maybe you haven't had that type of season and you're trying to cap it off with a victory, maybe your 10th victory, 11th victory, whatever it be, 9th victory or something. So, but these games next week, when we get to the rivalry, we're going to have an interesting conversation. But yes, like I say, Clemson trying to get to a bowl, South Carolina just trying to really spoil Clemson's season at the end. So there's different motivations, but both motivations will make those teams play tough and hard in that ball game.
I can hardly wait.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk SEC and what happened there this past weekend. Any surprises for you?
Yeah, Donna, I think the surprise was that Texas played at Georgia and they scored 10 points. Texas had been playing much better, specifically Arch Manning at the quarterback position. And they seemed to be gelling. The offense was flowing, but Georgia, as I've said for quite a few months now, Donna, they are the team to beat in the SEC. They know how to win. It could be a low-scoring game, as they did against Auburn when they were down 10-0, and on the verge of it was going to be 17-0, and there was a fumble at that goal line with the officials made that call, and they came back to win 20-10. Or they could win a high-scoring game, as they did earlier against Tennessee in Knoxville, and some other ball games as well, the Ole Miss game. So Tennessee, they won the ball game 35-10 down. It wasn't a ball game. They scored the 21 points in the last quarter to beat Texas. A good defensive team, pretty good defensive team, Texas. And Georgia came alive, and they had the onside kick down. Kirby Smart called an onside kick after they scored a touchdown. And that was a surprise play. And they practice it every day, but he hasn't run it. The player, one of the players kept pushing the coach, hey, coach, can we run this play? I'd like to see if I can recover the onside kick. And they ran it. It was successful. And Texas wasn't ready. And that was a significant strategic move by Kirby Smart to take command of the game, and they ended up beating them 35-10. And Texas is trying to get in the playoffs. I think it kind of sunk their chances because they have the 3 losses now. They lost to Ohio State to begin the season, 14-7, which was a very Don. If you look back at that game, 14-7 to lose to Ohio State, that might be the best defensive effort in the entire season to hold Ohio State in Columbus to 14 points. Mm-hmm. But they lost the game because Arch Manning, it was his first start. Julian Sayin, the quarterback from Ohio State, that was his first start. But that might be the best defensive effort in the entire college football season. But they lost there. They lost to Florida on the road. That was a big upset. And now they've lost to Georgia. So, but the SEC, Donna, they have a chance to probably get 4 teams in the college football playoffs, possibly 5. And the 5 would probably be Georgia, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, upset Alabama in Tuscaloosa. That was a real good ball game. Alabama, who they don't usually turn the ball over, Donna, had multiple turnovers. One ended up being a pick 6, which was a beautiful play. Intercepted the pass. The defensive back from Oklahoma ran 87 yards for a touchdown. If you tackled them way at the other end, Donna, that would have been fine because quarterbacks throw interceptions, Donna. That's part of the equation, part of the game. No problem. But they didn't tackle me, ran for a touchdown. So Alabama's going to maybe score a touchdown, which would be 7 points, but the 7 points went the other way. That's a 14-point difference. Mm-hmm. So, and they had double the yardage of Oklahoma, but Oklahoma won the turnover battle, which they normally don't turn. Oklahoma's on the negative end of the turnover battle usually for the season. Alabama's near the top, but they had those turnovers, fumble, the punt, interception, multiple turnovers, as I said, contributed to the loss. 3 turnovers, I think, for the day by Alabama, and they lost at home. Now, they must beat Auburn next week when we get to that, rivalry week, Auburn and Alabama game. Alabama must win that game. And then, Donna, if you get to the championship game, if Alabama has a third loss, I don't know if they make the playoffs with the third loss. Then they play Texas A&M in the SEC championship game, and if they lose, that would be their third loss. I don't know if they get in the playoffs, really. So they're kind of in a difficult spot. I think they really need to win out the rest of the ball games. They play Eastern Illinois this weekend. That's just a warm-up game, just a practice game, I call those, really. And then they play Auburn at Auburn next week. Now, Auburn got an interesting situation. We know that the quarterback, they made the change for the Vanderbilt game, Ashton Daniels, a transfer from Stanford. He had a good ball game. They put up 38 points, most in the season. Singleton and Coleman, the 2 talented receivers, finally had a chance to make a lot of receptions, and they were very productive, putting up 38 points. But to preserve his redshirt year, Donna, that transfer from Stanford, they're going to hold him out for this game against Mercer, and they're going to refer back to Jackson Arnold, the transfer from Oklahoma, and then the freshman Deuce Knight. So those are the 2 quarterbacks that will be preparing to play against Mercer this week. And then the next week, I'm thinking they'll probably revert back to Ashton Daniels to play against Alabama. But so that's a little twist in all these rules, Donna. You're thinking, what do you mean we're sitting the quarterback and he's healthy? Well, he's trying to preserve his redshirt year so he has another opportunity to play college football. So you have to be strategic in your moves. And so they decided to hold him out and use the other 2 quarterbacks and then have all 3 of them get ready for Alabama.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to have to go into a break, but before we go, I just got to mention this. Okay, so I've been receiving emails about Coach Saban going to Auburn, and it looks legit. Okay, it really does with AI and all those things that are happening. Yeah. And something did look like a headline, but it's not true. Okay,
no, yeah, he's not going to coach Auburn. No.
Nick Saban going to Auburn to be their coach.
No, that's no.
That would be interesting, though, wouldn't it? Think about that scenario.
Yeah, that'd be something, Donna. I know that Rick Pitino was a basketball coach. He coached Kentucky and he coached Louisville, so that's kind of unique. Yeah. But no Saban to Auburn, no.
No, I don't think that's going to happen. Let's go into a commercial break, and we'll return in just a few minutes. Y'all hang in there.
Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for 2 or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Because of your overwhelming support, our 1488 MyPillow has been one of the biggest sales in MyPillow history. I couldn't think of a better way to say thank you than to extend our wholesale pricing through Christmas. Get a classic standard MyPillow for only $14.88. Upgrade to a queen size, just $18.88. King size, only $1 more. Get my body pillows for only $29.88. And ready? Multi-use MyPillows, only $9.88. It's perfect time to stock up for Christmas gifts for everyone on your list. Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of our wholesale pricing. Including my classic standard MyPillow is only $14.88. But that's not all. I'm so confident you're going to love our classic MyPillows that I'm going to extend my 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st, 2025. Plus, orders over $75 ship absolutely free.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer.
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
Okay, we're back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host for Donna's Edge television talk show and radio talk show where truth matters. You can also find us on the podcast as well. You know, poor Nick Saban is like, has he probably been the most rumored coach in football history? You know, he was going to retire how many times?
Yeah, right. I would say probably Nick Saban in this era of the social media platforms and the media that is proliferated in the last 20 years. And then also Lane Kiffin, he's at Ole Miss presently. They have a bye this week, but it's been reported that family members have visited Baton Rouge, which is where LSU is located, and also Gainesville, Florida, where the University of Florida is located. So I've just never seen somebody have his family visit two locations, and you're presently a coach at a university where you're in the midst of making the playoffs and having a record season at that school. I mean, historical moment at a university, SEC school, and you have your family making a tour to Baton Rouge and Gainesville.
Well, now remember when Nick Saban's wife was visiting in Texas? You remember that?
That was the rumor. I don't think that was true, John. I don't think that was true. Yeah, it's Coach Saban. He wasn't going to Texas. I never found anybody of substance to tell me that was true. You've seen that put out there on social media platforms, but I never did take that as a viable option.
This is why, folks, we have you listen to AP Steadham right here. Okay, you're going to get the brass tacks with AP. No rumor stuff.
No, we don't.
None of that stuff.
We stay away from rumors. Yeah.
Who are your rankings right now?
Yeah, Donna. Let me get my top 5 that I presented in my weekly Football Writers Association of America National Football Foundation Super 16 poll. I have Ohio State still at the top. Indiana second, Texas A&M after that historic comeback against South Carolina number 3, Georgia. I always had it number 4 ahead of Alabama, and Georgia won that game against Texas. I have Oregon now at 5, Donna, because Alabama lost that game at home to Oklahoma. So those are my top 5. But, I have Alabama in the poll as well, the top 16. I have Texas in there and Vanderbilt from the SEC, and Oklahoma and Ole Miss, of course. I have Ole Miss at number 6, Oklahoma number 7, Alabama 8, and I have Texas 12, Vanderbilt 13. So I do have teams from the SEC in the top 6 in my poll.
Mm-hmm. Well, do you feel like Vanderbilt is a little bit underrated?
No.
In the polls.
Yeah, no, I think they're fine, Don, because, for instance, in my poll, they're right below Texas. Texas played them down there. They beat them. It was a close score. Vanderbilt made a big comeback to make it very close. And so I have them in my poll. They did not play Ole Miss. Alabama beat them, so Alabama was ahead of them in my poll. They did not play Oklahoma because they played Texas. So I have Oklahoma above them as well, and also Georgia above them, and Texas A&M. So, but they're getting recognition for their accomplishments so far. And Donna, as I said, rivalry week next week when they play Tennessee. That is a huge ball game for Vanderbilt. And, they play Kentucky this week, and Kentucky's been hot, Donna. They've won, I think, 3 straight now, Kentucky. So they're playing much better, especially offensively. In Kentucky, they have just sputtered on offense beginning part of the season, but they're playing overall much better with their production of points. And it really helps your defense when you score, Donna, because your defense is resting, plus you're putting points on the board, making it difficult for that team. So Vanderbilt, that's a tough ball game they'll have this week, Donna. And that game, let me see if I'm trying to find out where that game is being played. But Vanderbilt's a good football team. I really enjoy watching them. And that game is at Vanderbilt. And Vanderbilt had a bye last week. Kentucky played Tennessee Tech, which was an undefeated team, Donna, in the FCS level. They beat them 42-10. So Vanderbilt had the bye. They had a chance to heal up and practice some of their fundamentals. So that's a big ball game. In Kentucky, they're trying to get into a bowl, Donna. They have the 5 wins right now, trying to reach 6. So Kentucky plays Vanderbilt this week, and then their rival Louisville the following week. So 2 difficult games if Kentucky wants to earn a berth to a bowl.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk a little bit. I had a good question right here from one of our listeners. He was talking about, let's see. Because of the media, social media, and that kind of thing.
Yes.
This is Robert. He said his name is Bob Robert.
Okay.
So he says, do you think fans are more informed today or more misled when it comes to social media?
That's an interesting way he asked that question, because I think he answered the question himself by saying being misled, because people, Don, for whatever reason, they have a tendency, they'll read a headline and they don't follow up. Well, who wrote this story? What is the source? Anybody could write a headline, correct? Anybody could write a headline, but who is the author and is a legitimate source? And that's something that you, as a consumer of the media, must evaluate. Because, you have to check it. So I think he answered his question he answered it, but with his question, the second part, you can be misled. You can be absolutely. So, but you have to be a knowledgeable and a critical thinker when you're reading information. But that's on you, though, as the reader and as a consumer of information.
Well, you have to be careful what you throw out there, too, because you don't look like a moron on your social media site. When you've read something, you've not done any research about it. You just throw it out there, too. I mean,
So they are more informed if you're reading the proper sources. Yes. But you also are more misled. But you say you're both. You're both.
Yeah, but so many times we're going to use Saban again. I mean, it's just like over, and it seems like the most successful people are the ones who are targeted. The most successful coaches, players, what have you. Those are the ones people pick on.
Right, Donna. And what happens normally is the people who wish to have that person as their coach, they're the one putting out the storyline that
Right.
this person wants to come to this university or school or college. So it's all false information, but it's presenting a headline to get people charged up, their alumni, their fans, and it's totally not true. But they plant it, either and then sometimes you have agents plant different things as well with writers that they trust, and the writer, they're manipulated, John. They're manipulated.
I think so too, because you always want to make the other team look bad anyway, or I don't. You don't. But what I mean is overall the fans love to hear rumors about the other team.
Yeah, the source could be manipulated by the people involved in the decision. It could be the agent for the coach. It could be the athletic director for that school, or the president, or a board of trustee member, or maybe a former player that's this source speaks to for information about that college, university, or school. So they can be manipulated as well, and it's up to the media person to have some sense and, like I said, evaluate. Well, they're telling me this, but why are they bringing this information to me? Is this true? Or are they trying to just create a headline to get everybody fired up about this individual coming to our school?
I'm going to say the headline. That's
right.
What it is there. Okay, AP, just a couple minutes left in this segment. Now, AP, as we see it, what happened on your show last week?
Yeah, Donna, last week we had the voice of Notre Dame football, Tony Simeone, and he was excellent. I really enjoyed speaking with him. And then we had DJ Jones, who was a former Georgia player. He has the show, the Sports Vision morning show. So we discussed the Georgia-Texas game, and then with Tony Simeone, the voice of Notre Dame football, we discussed the Pittsburgh game and the Notre Dame football team, because Notre Dame's a national team, Donna. There's always people in every 50 states, they're Notre Dame fans. So we always like to keep abreast, as we tell everybody in our intro, keep an eye on the national college football scene. So, and I actually saw Tony this fall, because I covered the USC Notre Dame game in South Bend. So those were our two guests. And then Donna, we go over all the games in the conference and the rankings and things every week during the show.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We're going to have to call it a day. I can't believe how time flies by. How can folks find your games? How can they find your shows?
Oh, yeah, at AP As We See It on my YouTube channel. It's on Spotify. You can look at my social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, X accounts at AP As We See It, and at AP Steadham. We have the links, and then every time I'll cover something down there, all the interviews, you can see those on the YouTube channels and the links on the social media platforms as well.
Absolutely. AP, thank you so much for being with me. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's always so much fun. Continue sending email. I absolutely love them. But leave Saban alone, please. He's not coming on. Again, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time around.
The only place I buy my beef is Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama. Their cattle is born and raised on their ranch, grass and grain fed, and you can feel confident when you serve your family and friends because their beef is all natural and no antibiotics or hormones are added. You can buy whole beef or perhaps go in with family or friends and buy half. Their customer service is number one as they take care of the delivery to their local processor and can deliver to your home for a small added fee. They also offer herd replacement heifers. I always call Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama for my beef specialty recipes and cookouts, and you can too. Food shortages are increasing, so buy local by calling 256-523-6462. That's 256-523-6462.